Greetings, Jesse Bellinger here. I haven't been camping in about 6 years, so brought everything but the kitchen sink. We went up to Shaver Lake, me and my mom, just outside of the Central Valley, northwest of Fresno, I guess. And on the end of that road, we went past Dinky Lake and then to Wishon Reservoir, among other things. To map it all, I got this Galileo app on my iPhone, which you turn everything off except it uses your GPS on your phone, and then you can import the track into like Google My Maps and create a little photo journal. It's pretty cool. And then there's Wishon Lake there and my mom. So just massive amounts of water up there. Glorious after all the snow. Just raging down. And almost every crossing has a bridge or something. PG&E and the forestry have done a massive job of making this place accessible to just about everybody. And after looking at about 5 different campgrounds, we ended up on this one. Looked like nobody'd been there for about 3 years. Little baby sprout trees growing in, all flattened. I think it was like an old mule packing or horse packing zone because it was really flat and there was a bunch of pucky everywhere, especially down in the valley too. Anyway, we sat up here for about 3 days, 3 nights, and we saw about 3 cars go by the whole time. And there was one camper down below, closer to the main part of the road.
So back home, we had a $40 cast iron pan, and I forgot it. Now we have a $10 piece of shit chingon.
And it weighs 3 ounces.
It weighs 3 ounces. Really nice, though.
So most of the riding is going to be in first and second gear. And I'm riding solo, and like I said, there's nobody up here. So I'm just tractoring around, going really slow, cruising around, figuring out the balance of the bike. It's still very brand new. Got about 900 miles on it after this ride. And a lot of this, most of this stuff is near the end of like old overgrown Jeep roads and stuff that have been totally overgrown, and especially after the snows, nobody's been in there all year. And again, I'm going really slow because I don't want to pop a tire or get a stick through my wheels. This is my first patch of snow, and as simple as this looks, it is so incredibly fun. You have no idea. And a quad had been through either this week or a little earlier on a lot of these tracks. And I kept hitting logs on all these old roads that basically no car could have gone through at this point. It's too early in the summer, early June. So cruising around slow as I can, leaving stupid little tracks in these freshly blooming meadows. Sorry, but really, really fun. And just doing full amateur rides over these little dinky logs here. I mean, you can watch as many videos on YouTube as you want. Until you get actually out there and try it, it's really hard to do. So this is coming back to the same log. Before I went around on the right, it took me for days to get past all that scrabble. So, in my mind, I'm doing this. Busting some Adam Ryman boss moves over some giant log, like I know what I'm doing. But in reality, it would probably be more like this, with Toby Price busting first, and then Adam Ryman even pulling it off with style. Ain't no worries, you know? But instead, I get off the bike. It takes me about a minute and a half of grinding over this log and the sticks and overheating because I've still got my goggles on. But good fun stuff regardless. And then off to the races. And then back to the first log. And again, I stalled my bike like 6 times here because I'm trying to not to leave a big stupid roost through here. And it's all sticky and brambly. But just super fun. Nobody back here. This was like my own playground all 3 days. It was amazing. Just trying to pick a challenging but simple line. And this really isn't that steep. It's just a nice meadow under this little rocky drop back onto the decrepit fire road here, and then back to here. Key point, you need momentum to cross snow. Very crucial, but still very fun. Here's another crossing, and usually very just well placed because it just looks awesome when you look up in there. This was a campground below that same bridge. Would have been beautiful, but a lot of standing water left and puddles and stuff, so it would have been riddled with mosquitoes at night. But the water looked just fantastic. And then here's another cruise through the woods, and again, very simple, first and second gear, just cruising, just figuring out the putt-putt to the bike, and with nobody around, this was like my own personal playground. You have no idea how magical this was. Just awesome. And this is early in the ride, early in the being up there, so I didn't quite have the guts to go a little further. I always wanted to know where the road was. This is one of the multiple offshoots of the other offshoots that after the big snow were a lot of them overgrown, but almost all of them accessible by moto. This was another one where I think a Jeep or a quad had gone through fairly recently, and they all fork off like that. You can just go left or right, and they all just go for miles. This one ends up at just a glorious granite canyon that, based at this time, you could go back there with a couple moto bros and moto camp and just be completely isolated, not even that far off the main road. Like this, all kind of brushed in. I'm sure a Jeep could make it by there, but this is pretty narrow stuff. And then you end up in here, and there's just kind of magical. There's an old fire pit here. I mean, there's nobody back here. And all those rock croppings are just super fun to climb around on. There's a lot of these. There's one later in the video that it's kind of fun. So near the end of this whole main road is Wishon Reservoir, actually. And PG&E regulates this entire area and just gathers all this water for energy, which, I mean, you might as well. They give a lot of access to everybody, and they keep it pretty clean and pretty beautiful. No complaints. And even though there's a reservoir, and the canyon must have been just amazing before they filled it in. You're welcome right there. Thank you. I didn't know I was filming at this time. I forgot it. I had the camera still on. But here's the view. Obviously. Just fantastic. Granite all the way around. I didn't really see any hiking zones. It was mostly just car access and then a boat launch over in the left as you pan across here. But just amazing. Beautiful. Especially still just rushing rivers coming in after all the snow melt. Especially on that far shore there, which I'll show you later.
Really, really bright. But how's everybody doing?
So this is coming back later with my mom. My dog barking in the background. She was babysitting for the 3 days. And this is one of the many raging river flows coming down here. I could have stood there and watched this all day long. It's just magical. There's my mom. So this is at the end of another Jeep road. My phone was kind of dying at this point, so I had to turn off the tracking, and the video died the first day. But this was totally inaccessible by anything but moto. This is another meadow, bunch of snow drifts and trees, so this was completely getting grown back in. Lots of ground cover flowers. Just superb. Another Jeep road, and the fire gate was open on this one, so I'm pretty sure this tree fell after the forestry went through and cleared the road. Anyway, pretty much a brand new bike. Got it in December of 2016. So I'm trying to lump this thing under here without even getting the foot pegs dirty, because, you know, it's still very fresh. And just to be manly. And as stupid as that looks, that was really fun. So this log, in my mind, I'm doing this. But I think I'll just go around. This thing had been here a while. I don't think they have any intention of clearing this thing out. As you can see, the grind on the end of that log on the right, somebody had either ridden over there or hiked over there, I don't know. And this little roundabout I'm doing, there was already kind of a path through there. So I wasn't the first one, but definitely this spring I was, or this early summer. And as stupid as that looks, that was really fun. And there's about 5 or 6 trees just growing into this old Jeep road here. And these trees are fairly established, so I don't think they have any intention of opening this back up. Near the end of it was a big sloping granite hillside. This was very much steeper than it looks. Super fun right there. I should have gotten more video of this whole zone, because as the picture you'll see in just a second, all that was totally rideable. There was no crevices. And anyway, that's my ride. Thanks for watching. Jesse B signing out.